when lecturers too are friendly and nice, you know that line.
Yeah.
Students will just jump over it at any time.
Before a lecturer comes to class, we can decide to actually annoy the person, do things that
Wow, really?
the person
Yes.
doesn't like.
That
So the plan.
Yeah.
Today you are my student too.
Yeah.
Give yourself 5 years. We may be in the same position.
One of our classmates, a lady, she would always call the lecturer, go to the house, everything, just so she could pass. She's not a good student, but at the end of the day, she got A in that paper. And we were struggling to get A.
I've had situations where male students have come, being all nice, buying me food. I mean, some have gone to the sense to say, Madam Ben, I want to take you out. Hey! Do you have money for Kempinski?
You asked for part 2, and here it is. We are diving back into the hot topic of lecturer versus student with even more bold questions. Let's get into it. Are students only responsible for their grades, or should lecturers be questioned too?
Okay, so I'm disagreeing to the question because I think that either way the lecturers should be questioned in a way, because for me as a lecturer, I taught you, right? And at the end of the day, I set the question. I am you answering the question is more like me assessing myself whether I did the right job or I didn't do the right job. So if my student should get a D in a course that I think I've done my best to teach, I think I have to sit down and do some retrospection. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I also agree that the lecturer should be questioned because it is whatever you give them, that is the result you are getting at the end. So
Yeah.
if majority of your students are failing, then it means there is a question mark somewhere. So it is very important that the lecturer is also questioned in that regard.
And so, in as much as I agree that lecturers play a part or should also be questioned when students fail their exams, I would say that as students, if you give us that chance to blame our lecturers, then we would always not put in work. And so, students must also try their best to put in much effort so that they can also pass. We have lecturers around, and so you can always reach out to your lecturers even before it's time for exams, so you don't have any excuses. But once we allow us to go on with the analogy that the lecturers can also be blamed, as a student, I would deliberately not put in maximum effort.
So disagree with you. Have you heard the how do I call it? Like the scenario where imagine me if I know that the responsibility is just on the student, you know what I'll do? I'll set questions. I don't even care. You know, sometimes when we set the questions, there are times that me myself I take time to solve it to see even if the time allocated is right.
It's okay.
Do you get
Yeah.
it? So if I do not blame myself in any way, come on, I will not put myself in the student's position, and that way I will not have a fair assessment of maybe the subject or the course that I taught.
Yeah.
You get it? I get the fact that yes, students will take advantage of that and decide not. But at the end of the day, you don't take the grades to my house anyway. And that's what the student. I think that's what the students should know. That at the end of the day, if you get A, you take it to your house. It's your. But unfortunately, in Ghana, like Mike, you agree with me
Yeah.
that. I mean, when the students get A, say, "Oh, menya A."
Yeah, the
When you get
students-
F, oh, yeah, mommy F, and
Yeah.
really,
Then you blame the teacher. Yeah.
yeah. So,
Okay, so
that's what I think.
yeah, and I think that I agree with you that the lecturers also should be blamed, but then majority of the work, right, should come from the students, and so the students should just understand that in as much as it's a shared responsibility between the lecturers and the students, they have majority of work to do to put in, and so I would agree with you on that.
Thank you for supporting us.
I also agree with teachers being blamed for the performance of their students, because most of the teachers, some don't give the students the slides they need, and some also decide not to give their students much attention as they need.
That me, I'm interested. At what attention?
Sometimes in class,
Yes.
when students ask the teachers a question, some they decide not to, and some decide not to answer. Some will be like, "Oh, this is simple. Ask your friend or something." But maybe me, the students, I need the help from the teacher. Maybe you explain better for me. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Philip Ame, and I'm a graphic designer. I'm representing students on this episode.
Can strict and unfriendly lecturers make students feel depressed?
Yes, I mean, you cannot learn in a toxic environment. It doesn't promote, good dialogue between students and lecturers. So, if a lecturer is exhibiting such behavior, of course, it brings so much unfriendliness around, But academic environment is supposed to promote dialogue. It's supposed to, help the students feel safe so that they can learn more. So that is why I agree.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm stuck in the middle of this. Even though I did this, I wish I could do this. And this. So I'm going to talk about the two ways.
Okay.
So the first way is this. That this meaning that yes, sometimes when lecturers are strict and unfriendly,
Yeah.
it makes it very difficult for the students to approach the lecturers.
Yeah.
That I get it. When I was in school, surprisingly, my favorite subject, my lecturer was overly strict. I never got the chance to even get close to Prof. We used to call him Prof. Redu. I never got the chance to. But later on, I realized that he was even a nice person from afar, and I really liked the course. And it was because I was putting in effort. He wasn't someone that people could approach him, but the negative side was that there were a lot of people getting F in that course anyway. But then the other side, which one I wanted to do this for, is the fact that when lecturers too are friendly and nice, you know that line,
Yeah.
students will just jump over it at any time. Like there are times that you'll be sleeping at night and you get a call. Hello, Madam Bene, are you asleep?
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Why?
I can't agree
I'll be going
more.
out
Yeah.
tomorrow, so can we switch to video? I want to show you which dress you think I should wear. It's 12 a.m. Can I sleep? You get it?
Yeah, it's true.
And so honestly, I think I'm 50-50 about it. I'm 50, and
Yeah.
I do not blame lecturers who are unfriendly and strict. I do not
They may
blame
also
them
have
at
their
all.
reasons for
Yes, they
doing
may
that.
have their experiences
Yeah.
and or that. Imagine a male lecturer being overly nice and sweet. Imagine he's also a fine boy. You can
Yeah, it's
imagine.
true.
You can imagine
Yeah.
what will happen. So I'll do this.
Okay, and so I would say that that is also relative. And so for me as a student, even if my lecturer is strict or unfriendly, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter. My duty is to learn and then pass the course. But then for other students, that may trigger them into becoming very depressed because their lecturer is strict. And so I'll say that is relative.
I'm choosing this because it's how can you be a teacher? You tell me that you won't be, yeah, you'll be too strict or you'll be too strict to your students. Me, as for me, I don't like those.
No, no.
Yeah, and even your subjects,
You'll never like
I
the
know
subject.
I won't even open a book.
Yes.
But you know that people have different temperaments, right?
Yeah,
There are some people they will just not open up. I think when I started teaching, that was how I was. Per my temperament, people drain my energy.
But
Trust
you've-
me.
you've
From
changed,
here,
right?
I want to withdraw and be alone. Honestly. But so it got a time. Students, I mean, students themselves. Madam, like outside class, I was reading, but in class, no. Per my temperament, I don't go around being happy. Like no, 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 no. So from that distance, you may see me as very strict, sometimes even unfriendly. Do you get it? But well, because of the career I chose, I also had to start making some changes.
Then it means we
Along
have
the
to
line.
draw a line.
Yeah,
The line must be professionalism. So you can be strict, but at least be professional,
That
so that the
is it,
students
of
can
course.
also enjoy the academic environment. So I
because
think we should
someone
draw a line.
can be unfriendly
Yeah.
and strict, but then I think the line that we should draw is don't disrespect students. Today you are my student too.
Yeah.
Give yourself 5 years. We may be in the same position. Do you
Yes.
get it? So if we are all agreeing to this statement, then I think we work it. Hello, my name is Benedicta Asare. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Nursing. I also double as a public health consultant. Yes. And concerning the topic, with when it comes to students who harass their lecturers for grades, I just want to tell them that they should be careful. For the lecturers, hey, is a no-no.
Do some students try to annoy or harm lecturers on purpose? And does it hurt the learning environment?
Okay.
Okay, and so I wouldn't say harm, but then annoy students.
Yes.
Before a lecturer comes to class, we can decide to actually annoy the person, do things that
Wow,
the
really?
person
Yes.
doesn't like.
Ah,
That
so they plan.
Yeah, and so with that, yeah, I totally.
I think
agree
when I
with
was in level
annoy.
400, that's what we did to one of our lecturers.
Yeah.
Like, the guy was really annoying us to the point that I think, and we know that he doesn't like us being late. That day, we all decided not to get to class early. We got there, and he was angry. Of course, if one person got there, he wanted to do an IE. We didn't get there on time. We waited 30 minutes after then. Those days there was no WhatsApp, so we started texting each other. It's time to go. He went to report us to the dean. And that was when they formed the committee, what's happening. Then we had to tell the committee that this guy, he doesn't teach us well. He just doesn't teach us well. So I think students can ganga, but
Yeah.
some way somehow they are most among the students.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
most of the time they're not really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I think we are all on the same page.
Yeah.
But it will also depend on maybe the style of the lecturer. Maybe that will, because you didn't like the way he is, that's why the class decided to frustrate him. So it means in a way lecturers must also check how
Just
they
that
treat.
I don't know if you've also heard the news. In some situations, it's even serious. The students tend to be very disrespectful,
Yeah.
violent. That one is a no no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can even get you fired. My name is Michael Opon. I'm the founder and director of Crimson Liberation Hub, a creative strategist, a youth leader, a teacher, and the CEO of Michael's Idyllic Writing Services. Academic work is a shared responsibility between a student and a lecturer.
Do some students flirt with lecturers to get better grades?
Mike is that.
Yes, a big yes. When I was in the university, I experienced this. One of our classmates, a lady, she would always call the lecturer, go to the house, everything, just so she could pass. She's not a good student, but at the end of the day, she got A in that paper, and we were struggling to get A.
Maybe she just learned.
No, in fact, it was so obvious that this lady,
Something has gone.
something has happened. So I think yes, and mostly it's with the females. I don't know for the guys. I don't have much experience with it, but mostly with the females, they can try to do things just so they could get an A.
Okay, let me tell you. I did this test because sometimes students are just nice.
Oh,
Sometimes. I've had situations, me as a female lecturer, I've had situations where male students have come, being all nice, buying me food. I mean, some have gone to the extent to say, Madam, then I want to take you out. Hey! Do you have money for Kempinski? You get it. But in my mind, as a female lecturer, I don't think it's because the guy wants sex.
Of course,
Do you get
of
it?
course, yeah.
Yes. There are situations to where female students are like overly nice. They don't want anything. They are just nice. They like you. Mike, you're a fine guy, lecturer. I like you. I just want, but you as a man, sometimes due to the way you behave.
Exactly.
So I do not think that sometimes students are nice for grade.
Just
No,
for
no,
grade.
no, 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 no.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I see.
But when I did this, then it means I agree because some too may have that intention. And when they come purposely for that. So I think you, the lecturer, will have to decipher between the overly nice student and the student who comes in just for
Just
that.
for
Those
something.
students eventually they tell you.
Mm,
They will tell
yeah,
you, I
of
came for
course.
this. I mean, you're wasting time.
Okay, so I don't know if it's something with our generation, but then I know students, female students, who intentionally um, go to lectures with that intention,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and so I know students who have done that and they succeeded, and so they passed in courses where the very brilliant and hardworking student failed. Yeah, so it's something that
Just like in
happens.
my case, it was so clear. Clear. I see.
As for me, I've not experienced it before,
That,
but I've heard it.
Head.
Yeah,
yeah.
I've heard it. And why is it that you are putting the blame on the students? I've heard a case that the teachers
The
So you
also,
teachers
think it's the
also,
other
yeah,
way
the
around,
other way
where the
around.
lecturer too.
Yeah.
That one I agree. Because at the end of the day, it's you, the lecturer, your responsibility. So imagine my students coming to me to tell me that Madam Bena, I want to take you out. And the next time this student I
Yeah.
followed him to Kempinski because maybe he has the money. When you come and see the two of us there, what would you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you get it? So I think I sort of agree with him. At
Because
the end of the day, the main responsibility is on the
It's on the
lecturer. A
lecturer.
student will always be a student. And the amazing thing about these Gen Zs is that the girls, they are very bold.
Yeah.
Extremely bold.
Seriously.
Hey!
Seriously.
They are, they are bolder than the guys. I'm telling you. They just walk straight to you. Someone can come and ask me a question that sometimes I look back, I'm like, my time I couldn't have asked
You
my
couldn't.
lecturer this question. So I think I will still do this and this because, but I think the main responsibility,
It's on the
yes,
lecturers.
is on the lecturer.
Is academic pressure making things worse between students and lecturers?
okay, as for me, I think the academic pressure make things worse for the students most because um the courses they learn, the subjects they learn, they are too many for them, and they are supposed to take their time to get what they are learning. Especially every maybe a day you have like 4 lectures coming to your class. You're supposed to take time and get everything into your head. But if um this lecturer comes and he gives you more assignments to do, and this one to come and give you more assignments to do, I think it's gives problem to the students. And
Okay. And so I would say that yes, it makes sense words between the students and the lecturers. There was this lecture we had, and the very first time we got to his class, he had already given us like 3 or 4 assignments. We hadn't read anything.
Wow.
He had given us 3 or 4 assignments, and we thought that was just to assess maybe our level of understanding in that course. But then every week before you get to class, he has sent like
Another
three
set.
assignments.
And it was pressure. You haven't met
Exactly.
me yet.
And we were of the view that, oh, prof, we do other courses, we don't do just your course. It's like, no, assignments are very good, they will
Yes.
help you. And no, and so there were so many students who missed classes. They just decided not to come, and at the end of the day we actually failed the course. The whole batch
Failed the
failed the
course.
course, and we had to redo it and retake the course. But then I would also disagree to an extent that it depends on who you are as a student. If you are someone who is close to the lecturer, if you're someone who doesn't fear your lectures, then when you are facing pressures academically, you can easily walk to any of them to seek guidance on how to go. And so it's two ways. It depends on who you are as a student.
Yeah, it's true. An angle I want to look at it is students want soft life. So they want everything to be easy. School should be very simple. I go to class, I go to my hostel, I'm chatting with somebody. So the least thing is pressure on them. So you give them assignments, they think you are wicked, they think school is difficult. Just so that is why they feel pressurized. But what they must know is that academic work in itself is very rigorous. I mean, you're in the university, you're supposed to learn everything, you're supposed to know everything. So that when you meet somebody and they ask you any question, you can answer. So you have to take certain courses that will help you, like function properly in the society. Know at least 1 or 2 things in the society. Yeah,
can I come on?
Yeah.
sure.
What about the extra activities in the school? Those extra activities, they also bring pressure,
No,
right?
The
those
extracurricular
ones are more
activities.
to rather balance the pressure from
Yeah.
the academic
I
work,
don't
I
think
think.
so.
You think that one to bring
Yeah, because me,
what are the
when I was
extra
in when I was
activities?
in SHS like this, apart from being part of the school team, I didn't want to join any because it increases the things I have to do.
But
And
then with that, I think you are the one that signs up for any extra curricular
Yeah.
activities, not imposed on
but
you.
it's encouraging for
It's
you
encouraging
as
to
a
join,
as
but
a
I think if you
student.
don't balance your time.
You have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
because the university environment is not supposed to only look at the academics. You must blend other extra activities so that you can also learn. You see, so through those extracurricular activities, you get to learn how to be sociable, how to talk to people, how to acquire
Remember,
acquire many skills.
university education actually is like universal
Yeah,
education. So after you finish the university, we're expecting you to know everything.
yeah.
We are expecting you to know even not like details of it, but a bit of everything. But unfortunately, we are in a generation that the
Soft
Gen
life.
Zs they like soft life. So because of that, my friends who have the opportunity to be employing Gen Zs, when we meet, they complain. It's like as you are talking to them, they're in a hurry to go home. They've come to work that
No
morning and
pressure.
they're in a hurry to go home. Everything is like you don't see the energy. Uh-huh. And I think it starts way from school.
Yeah.
So yes, I understand that academic work brings pressure, but I think this pressure is supposed to be a good one. Supposed to help you know how to balance life. Because after school, life is not as easy as we think. It's not easy. Even looking for job,
Yeah.
it's not. And after getting the job, to how to maintain the job. I have a student that I can tell she started the job last year, August. Every week she calls to cry once because her boss has shouted on her.
Can you imagine?
And I understand because she's not pulling her weight. So I asked her what happened. She'll say, I said, oh, but this one you didn't do well. You see, so I've become like her, and I'm okay. If she has to call me 1,000 times in a day to cry, as long as she has the job, she's staying in it. And I want to leave there. I said, when you leave the job, where we have
Why
been
even?
rented,
I mean,
who be paying your rent? You get it. So I think your generation, the soft life, no, so
it's not
Like,
helping.
it's too much.
Next question.
Hello, I am Emmanuel Dampadonko and I'm pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. On today's episode, I represent students.
In sex for grades cases, is this only the lecturer's fault, or are students partly to be blamed too?
I don't think only the lecturers should be blamed for this sex for grades issues. I mean, it happens, but in isolation. Let's agree on that. But then the students must also be blamed.
Then it means you disagree with the person.
I agree. I agree that the lecturers are not to be blamed alone. I mean,
Oh,
students as
the
well.
blame it
then
should
mine
be
is this.
it should be the students must also be blamed. I mean, it must be investigated properly before because we are humans.
Okay.
You cannot keep tempting somebody and
Well, that's
just go scot free and blame the lecturer. But of course, a lecturer must maintain high standard because you are in the highest authority. So you must have uphold high ethical standard. But students must also be investigated.
Exactly. So I think I agree with sir, because
I'm
sex,
on
The
my
men.
sex is a two-way thing, right? And so before that agreement will even come in, that will mean that the students needed the grades and the lecturer probably needed that pleasure, right? And so you
It's
can't
an exchange.
exactly,
Yeah.
and so you can't blame the students or the
The
lecturers
lecturer
alone.
alone. Yeah.
And so they are all to be blamed.
Okay, I agree on this one because when we blame only the lecturer, then what about the students? Yeah, we have to, let them know that what they are doing is not good, or we need to give them the necessary punishment or something to so that it should be an example to other students not to do what they did. Yeah.
Well, I completely disagree.
Why?
I think that we should blame the lecturer, like 100%.
Okay.
The lecturer should know better. Number one, and you see, as a lecturer, your standards should be high. I mean, like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, I hear that, like, you heard that Madame Benet has been caught with, God forbid, though, like, Ima, they should blame me. I should know better. What happened?
Body no be firewood.
I get it. I get it. But you, the lecturer, your standards should be so high that the students will even be afraid to even approach you with that. And most of the time, Ima, before you go in to the nitty gritty to realize that it's the lecturer who offered. Most of the time, or the students would make advances. You know, I have a friend here on this campus. Please, so my friends here on this campus, they are plates. You know, there are times that he would tell me that these students will come. But you know what this guy does? He will invite male students to come and sit. Anytime a student, a female student enters his office after 9 p.m., oh, you'll be sorry. You'll be there. The boys will just come and surround you. At that moment, whatever you came
Yeah,
to
whatever
tell him,
intention you
say it
had
in the presence
of everyone.
of everyone. And this is someone who is very self-aware that, hey, if I leave myself with these students and these girls come in, very nice girls. So if
Yeah, of course.
some of them, when he takes pictures, he says, I say, hey,
Gen Z
you get it.
girls.
Yeah. So I think that you, the lecturer, your standards should be very high. I'm saying this because as a young girl, I'm going to put myself. I remember when I used to have this church brother. I mean, he used to teach at UCC. I mean, when he sees this, hi. And he used to teach me. I remember when I came, like SHS, when I come home, this guy will come home and come in. Do you know that I had a crush on the guy? And there was a time that he'll be teaching me, I'll just be sitting there looking at this guy. Hey! And the time that I was bold enough to tell me, this guy sat me down, educated me well.
Oh.
Then, you see, he didn't make me feel bad. But at the end of the day, he also made me aware that no. Then I'm older than you. I think I was like, I was a very young girl. Understand how you feel is very normal, but please. Like we cannot be in the same church, you can imagine.
But
You see,
when it happens,
blame the lecturer.
the
Blame
student
the
must
Most
also
sometimes
be
the student
investigated.
No, what are you investigating
I mean-
the students for? What are you investigating the students for?
Maybe what if it was a trap
Trap.
or like
Mike, which trap?
an intention to maybe get the lecturer fired or demean or
But if
So
your
the lecturer
standards
shouldn't
were
be-
high,
Exactly.
if your standards were high, imagine this male lecturer I'm talking about. Let's say all these girls who have come in, when they came, he didn't invite the
the
boys.
boys.
That's
And
his
something happened.
strategy. Okay. And it's worked for him. I mean, he called me one time. I was like, Bennett, what do I do? These girls are very nice. I said, I call them boys. And now the boys, they are on standby. Once they call them now, at times it's very annoying because one of the girls came to me, come and tell me that, see, when I go to this man's office, the way the boys come, tell the man that no. Do you get it? And that is his. So you, the girl, when anytime you are going to that man's office, you know that if your man is passing by, you call him to come and sit in the meeting. Do you get it? But if you say so, let's say something like that would never happen unless he decides that he wants it to happen, then it will happen. So I think that we should blame the lecturer 100%.
That's it for part 2. More hits, more truth. Drop your thoughts in the comment section.